Tired of dealing with annoying flies, fruit flies, and gnats in your home? The Zevo Flying Insect Trap is your ultimate solution. Don't wait. Check out the link in the video description now to get your Zevo Flying Insect Trap on Amazon and enjoy a bug-free home today.
Colin Farrell recalled the moment he found out about his son James' Angelman syndrome diagnosis, and the first heart-wrenching question he asked the doctor. The phone booth actor, 48, discussed his firstborn son's, 20, condition in a new interview with People, revealing that he initially didn't notice any symptoms. But when James wasn't hitting benchmarks, he was first misdiagnosed as having cerebral palsy. It was only when he was about 2.5 years old that a pediatric neurologist suggested he be tested for Angelman syndrome. Angelman syndrome is a rare neurogenetic disorder that primarily affects the nervous system and causes severe physical and intellectual disability. Recalling the moment he received the diagnosis, Farrell shared, "I remember the first two questions I asked were, what's the life expectancy and how much pain is involved? And the doctor said, life expectancy, as far as we can tell, is the same for you and for me, and pain, no." The Irish actor, who shares James with ex-Kim Bordanavi, 52, said that James was a very silent baby. "I just thought I'd hit the lottery, and he was chill, and he's anything but," he added. Farrell, who also shares son Henry Tadeusz, 15, with Polish actress Alicja Bokleda-Kuras, 41, said that had James been his second son, he would have recognized something was amiss sooner. He explained, "If James had been my second child and not my first, I would have known sooner, because when Henry was born and I heard him cooing, I was like, a baby's supposed to coo?" He then explained that James wasn't reaching the developmental milestones expected of a child his age. He couldn't sit up. He wasn't crawling. "I think he was 1.5 years when we took him to get really checked out, and he was diagnosed as having cerebral palsy. It was a common misdiagnosis, because it shared a lot of the same characteristics. And that was a downer for sure." Later on, a doctor noticed an unusual symptom that prompted him to test for Angelman syndrome. One of the characteristics of Angelman syndrome is outbreaks of laughter. And the doctor saw that James was laughing a lot and doing this movement, he waves his hands, the father of two shared. Angelman syndrome is also characterized by seizures, which Farrell said is one of the things that parents struggle with greatly. He added, "Thankfully, James hasn't had a breakthrough seizure now in about 10 or 11 years, but I've been in the back of ambulances, I've been in the hospital with him. I've done diastat, a sedative, up his rectum to get him out of a seizure that lasted longer than 3 minutes. Finding the right amount of medication that doesn't have adverse effects, that's all very tricky business." The actor is now launching the Colin Farrell Foundation to provide support, education, and advocacy for adults with intellectual disabilities. "This is the first time I've spoken about it, and obviously the only reason I'm speaking is I can't ask James if he wants to do this." The proud dad stated that his eldest son has worked so hard all his life, so hard. Repetition, repetition, balance, his jerky gait. When he started feeding himself for the first time, his face looks like a Jackson Pollock by the end of it. But he gets it in, he feeds himself beautifully. "I'm proud of him every day, because I just think he's magic." Colin also described watching his son take his first steps just before his 4th birthday. Detailing the profound moment to People, Colin said, "I knew James's carers, were working on walking. And I stood over there, and she let him go, and he just came to me. It was so profound. It was magic. I'll never forget just the face of determination on him as he walked toward me. He took, 6 steps, and I burst into tears." James' condition is severe enough that he is nonverbal and requires the help of a live-in caregiver to accomplish his day-to-day tasks. When James was 4, Colin went public with his Angelman syndrome, saying his son had demonstrated amazing courage in the face of his condition. Shortly before James turned 18, Colin and Kim filed to obtain a conservatorship of him, noting he still needed help with tasks like getting dressed and making meals. He later went on to reveal that he and James' mother make sure to share in the smallest victories and enjoy the milestones whatever age they happen.